Ladies and gentlemen, today we're diving into a coin most people think they know, but almost no one truly understands. The UK 20 pence, a small seven-sided piece, hides secrets from 1983, 1984, and 1987 that collectors rarely talk about. Why were these years different? Why did the Royal Mint quietly change designs, production numbers, and even create coins that shouldn't exist? And how did these changes turn ordinary pocket change into coins worth real money today? In the next few moments, we'll uncover the mystery, the rarity, and the hidden value behind these three forgotten years. Stay with me, because this story is about to change how you see every 20 pence ever made. And now, as we move from the mystery into the truth, let's begin with the year that quietly started it all, the 1983 UK 20 pence. The 1983 UK 20 pence has become an unexpected treasure. This small, seven-sided piece of metal carries a history shaped by change, innovation, and a moment in time that quietly turned it into one of the most desirable 20p coins ever produced. Back in 1983, the United Kingdom was updating its circulating coinage, pushing forward with designs that reflected a modern nation while still honoring its royal heritage. The 20 pence coin was still fresh in the monetary system, and 1983 became one of those crucial production years where every detail mattered, from the metal chosen to the striking quality of each piece. This particular year holds a special place because the Royal Mint was perfecting its methods, tightening quality, and adjusting output to match new circulation demands. The result? A smaller number of premium-struck coins emerged, coins that today stand out sharply from the piles of ordinary change found in circulation. Collectors admire the 1983 issue because it has a distinct consistency in shape and detail. Its seven-step profile, its elegant crown Tudor rose, and the crisp lettering of its denomination all mark it as a coin of precision and pride. But what truly sets this year apart is not what people saw back then, but what collectors discovered years later. As time passed, surviving coins from 1983 proved to be far fewer in high-grade condition than expected. Many were spent, damaged, lost, or corroded. The ones that remained sharp, clean, and well-preserved suddenly became rare, far rarer than the average collector anticipated. The increased demand began quietly. A few collectors noticed unusual price jumps for well-kept 1983 examples, especially those with strong edges and a clean reverse. The market responded. Auctions began showing higher bids. Enthusiasts started paying attention. And slowly, this coin built a reputation that has only grown stronger. One of the biggest reasons the 1983 20p gained value is because it became a checkpoint year for collectors completing full 20p sets. Any checkpoint year becomes valuable when fewer specimens survive in excellent condition, and 1983 is exactly that kind of year. The coin also represents the early phase of Britain's successful seven-sided coinage system. Many collectors love owning examples from these foundation years, and 1983 consistently ranks among the most sought-after issues in the early series. But the real excitement comes when you talk about value, the number everyone wants to hear. Pristine, uncirculated, sharply defined 1983 20p coins have reached impressive figures in private collector markets. When a coin survives more than 40 years without losing detail, without scratches, without the common wear of daily handling, collectors are willing to compete fiercely for it. Some private sales have pushed well over $100, depending on quality, luster, and grading. And for a coin originally worth just a fraction of a dollar, that's a striking leap in value. Perfect condition, professionally graded examples have even crossed the $150 mark, proving that demand is very real. And here is where the motivation kicks in. Because anyone, yes anyone, could be holding one of these coins without even realizing its potential. A coin tucked away in an old drawer, a forgotten wallet, a family box, or a childhood collection could turn into surprisingly good money today. Collectors are aggressively hunting early-year 20p coins, especially those that show full detail and no damage. And the 1983 issue sits right in the center of that demand, rising in value as supply continues to shrink year after year. Think about it, 40 years ago, this coin was just another piece of everyday currency. Today, it is a miniature relic of the past, a symbol of Britain's evolving coinage, and a prize target for enthusiasts and investors alike. That is why the 1983 UK 20 pence is not just valuable. It is a small but powerful reminder that history often hides in the simplest places. And if you happen to find a clean, well-preserved specimen in your home, you might be holding a coin worth far more than you ever imagined. So keep your eyes open, your drawers checked, and your curiosity sharp, because treasures like this often appear where you least expect them. After uncovering the hidden power of the 1983 issue, our journey moves forward to a year that collectors often overlook, until they learn what makes the 1984 UK 20 pence stand apart from the rest. The year 1984 marked a pivotal continuation in the evolution of the United Kingdom's modern coinage. While the nation was adjusting to new economic rhythms, the Royal Mint was refining its production techniques, and the 20 pence coin quietly entered another year of circulation with unexpected significance. This particular year did not see massive promotion, special announcements, or commemorative versions. Instead, the 1984 issue became valuable for a completely different reason: its controlled production and the survival of high-quality pieces, which eventually set it apart in the collector world. Unlike some earlier years, the Royal Mint balanced output with precision, resulting in a batch of coins that were technically strong but surprisingly limited in pristine surviving examples. Many were used heavily in daily transactions, leaving fewer top-grade pieces available decades later. Collectors today don't just chase rarity, they chase condition, and the 1984 20p is exactly the kind of coin that rewards those who look closely. Its sharply defined seven-sided profile, its clean edges, and the fine details of its crown Tudor rose design make it a standout when found in excellent state. Over time, as coin enthusiasts began assembling full 20 pence year sets, they discovered something unexpected. Finding a clean, unworn 1984 example was much harder than it seemed. This demand quickly elevated its status within the early series lineup. What makes the 1984 issue especially appealing is its representation of the early stabilizing years of the denomination. Its production reflects the Royal Mint's confidence in the new coin shape and its reliable place within the British monetary system. Yet despite its role, many of these coins were lost to circulation damage, scratches, dents, discoloration, and natural wearing. It became clear that surviving specimens in high quality were not as common as once believed. Collectors started reporting strong auction results for well-preserved 1984 coins, especially those showing their original luster. The market responded immediately, pushing values higher and increasing attention toward this overlooked issue. For many collectors, the 1984 20p is considered a scarce-grade year, not rare in total numbers, but rare in desirable quality. This type of scarcity is exactly what drives value in modern numismatics. Over the years, carefully stored examples, those kept in albums, forgotten collections, or untouched containers, began commanding premium offers. Private buyers took interest, particularly in brilliant, uncirculated pieces that carried the shine of their original minting. As demand rose, so did the willingness to pay more for the best coins available. High-grade 1984 specimens in preserved condition have sold for $80 to $120, depending on sharpness, color, and overall eye appeal. Exceptional pieces, those that appear nearly untouched, can even push above $150, placing this coin firmly in the category of valuable early series collectibles. These figures continue to increase as collectors compete to complete early 20-piece sets with quality pieces. This upward trend has been further fueled by the fact that fewer people recognize the potential of 1984 compared to later era years, and that lack of awareness gives modern collectors a major advantage. Those who search now can still find hidden gems. The beauty of this coin lies not just in its design, but in its story. It represents a year of steady growth, silent transitions, and quiet value, something that becomes more meaningful with every passing decade. Anyone who stumbles across a clean 1984 20 pence in old savings, family coin jars, or inherited collections could be holding something genuinely special. A small object, but one that carries far more worth than its face value suggests. That is why collectors place the 1984 issue so highly among the early year releases. It is not widely discussed, not often spotlighted, but always respected by those who understand the true dynamics of value. The legacy of the 1984 UK 20 pence continues to grow each year, driven by scarcity, condition, and rising collector demand. Its place in the numismatic world is undeniable, and its financial potential is only getting stronger. So if you ever come across a crisp, sharp, beautifully preserved 1984 20 pence, treat it like a miniature treasure, because that's exactly what it is. After exploring the quiet strength of the 1984 issue, our journey now leaps to a year that unexpectedly reshaped the market. 1987, a turning point for collectors chasing the true gems of the early 20 pence era. The year 1987 marked a fresh chapter for the United Kingdom's currency system, and the 20 pence coin quietly became one of the highlights of that financial landscape. While the country moved through economic changes and modernization, the Royal Mint continued refining its methods, and the 1987 issue emerged with characteristics that would eventually turn it into a collector favorite. Unlike many earlier years, 1987 saw increased attention to strike quality and consistency. The Royal Mint was tightening standards, experimenting with sharper tooling, and focusing on cleaner edges. This resulted in coins with a noticeably crisp appearance, coins that today stand out whenever found in high preservation. But despite the production improvements, the number of surviving high-grade 1987 coins turned out to be surprisingly lower than expected. A large portion entered heavy circulation, taking on everyday wear that stripped away detail and originality. That reality is what pushed the value of well-preserved pieces significantly higher over time. Collectors who examine early series 20 pence coins often describe the 1987 issue as a separator year, a year that divides ordinary collections from premium ones. Anyone holding a sharply struck 1987 specimen instantly commands attention in collector circles. Another major point that drives value is the coin's position in the timeline. By 1987, the denomination was well established, and early enthusiasts began assembling year-by-year sets. This placed pressure on the market, as collectors searched for the cleanest examples to complete the decade's lineup. The demand kept rising because pristine coins from the late 1980s are much harder to find than people assume. Many were mishandled, tossed into drawers, or left to dull over time. Coins that made it through the decades without scratches, stains, or edge damage became significantly more desirable. This created a subtle but powerful shortage of high-quality 1987 examples, one that continues to influence pricing today. And when scarcity meets collector demand, value climbs in ways that even experts didn't predict. Auction results began revealing the truth. Strong, Untouched 1987 specimens were outperforming expectations, sometimes surpassing earlier years in price simply because they were so difficult to locate in beautiful condition. Values continued rising as more collectors entered the market. Uncirculated pieces, especially those with full brilliance, can sell for $100 to $150, depending on condition and grading. Coins with exceptional eye appeal have even reached beyond $170 in private collector exchanges. These figures may surprise many people, but to serious collectors, the reasoning is simple. Early series coins with limited surviving quality will always become prime investment targets, and 1987 fits that category perfectly. The coin also represents a moment when British coinage was reaching a stable, modern identity. Its design reflects that confidence, precise, balanced, and unmistakably British. Owning a well-kept 1987 example means owning a piece of that transformation. Many people unknowingly store these coins in old jars, boxes, or family collections, completely unaware of the market value tied to their condition. That means opportunities still exist for anyone willing to search with patience and a sharp eye. Collectors love the 1987 issue because it is predictable in design but unpredictable in survival quality. That unpredictability adds excitement, challenge, and value, three things every numismatist appreciates. The number of untouched examples decreases every year, naturally boosting value over time. Coins that remain clean today will only grow more desirable as the decades pass. Finding a crisp 1987 20 pence is like discovering a small window into the late 80s, a time of change, growth, and economic transition in the United Kingdom. Each preserved coin carries that history. And that history is exactly what makes this coin far more valuable than its face value suggests. It is a tiny artifact that blends British heritage with growing collector demand. So if you come across a flawless 1987 UK 20 pence, keep it safe, keep it preserved, and treat it as the rising treasure it truly is. Because its value isn't just financial, it's historical, cultural, and still climbing with every passing year.